Hey, so I wanted to make a video on how to eliminate financial pressure, and I will explain what I mean by that in a moment. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. But throughout the years, I have lived in a lot of financial pressure, and I've lived without it, and I've learned a lot from both sides, and I will explain each of those, and then I will explain a little bit going into debt versus making a sacrifice, the difference of those two, and all of that, right? And these are things that when I work one-on-one with clients, with colleagues, with whoever it might be, these are points that I explain to them, but I figured I make it here as well because it might be helpful to some people who are not in touch with me here locally and whatnot. So this concept, it's pretty simple. So I used to hear this term of living below your means, and the way I used to look at it is, okay, if I'm living below my means, then there's no pressure, there's no fire under me to really move, to build anything or to grow or to go to that next level, right? And think of this example. It's like, imagine in school, and either you've all experienced this or know what I'm talking about, is let's say the teacher says that you have this big project, and you have 2 to 3 months, or let's say 3 months to complete this project, right? Now 99% of people do not do anything in the first 2.5 months, and then when they have, let's say, 2 weeks left over of the whole project being due, all of a sudden everyone experiences this massive pressure, and boom, you end up finishing the entire project in like 2 nights, right? And you're like, and many of you thought this, right? I know I've thought this. I was like, damn, if I finish this in 2 to 4 nights, then and it looks pretty good, how much better could I have made it if I actually spent 3 months on it, right? So the thing is, majority of people are not born into the families, the upper class families, that regardless of whether they have pressure or no, they're always moving themselves, right? And then there's some families where they make ridiculous amounts of money, where it's like you can't spend all of that. So in that sense, it's like that is not a pressure to them, but so they have to create that pressure in other areas. But the thing is, without the pressure, majority of the people will not move themselves, will not level up in life, right? And especially if you're like me, born in a middle class family, and I was born in a third world country, so middle, lower class in a third world country, I mean, I don't even know how you could compare that here to America, right? Because middle class here, you could at least go eat out a couple times. You could at least have some decent meals. When I was in Iran, it's like we barely went to a restaurant. It was like once every 2-3 months thing, majority of my life. So when we did go out, and it was normally like to order a pizza or something, I was like really hyped up, you know? But so for a period of time, for a few years, I not only didn't live below my means, I didn't live around my means, but I lived above my means, meaning my expenses were actually for many months more than what I was bringing in. And this didn't matter if I made $8,000 in that month, $10,000, I would find a way to spend more than that. And to me, I thought, oh, I need that pressure. And I won't lie, it pushed me to really bring not only a lot more money into my life, but a lot of life lessons, and meeting a lot of right people that I honestly cannot put a price tag on that. And I have this mindset, and I've learned this from very, very successful people. Like virtually all very, very wealthy people believe this with 100% certainty, that money is a renewable resource, right? That's why I don't have that much hesitation into investing into new courses, going to events, getting mentorship, or any of that, because I really understand this point that money is a renewable resource. Now, if you do not actually believe that, and this is something that you have to kind of believe in it before the money actually comes in, and this is where most people have challenges and struggles, because they don't believe the money will come back, and they go into the fear of wanting to hoard money and just keep the money, right? And they go into the fear of losing the money, and they end up actually losing the money. So these are very important concepts that, I mean, I wish we all knew growing up, but virtually it's like you cannot give all of your money away. And if you think about it, anytime that you have unexpected bills come up, and it's like, let's say you're barely living paycheck to paycheck, and you have an unexpected bill come up, you're like, there's no way I could pay this. Virtually last minute, somehow the money always comes in. Whether you get it from someone, whether someone lends it to you, whether someone that you forgot about calls you back and is like, hey, I remember I borrowed this much from you, now I'm calling to repay the debt, and you're like, where did that person come from? It's like somehow, it's like as if by magic, boom, money comes in. So now the hard way, when I built this principle of how to create money and how to build businesses and don't rely on how much money I'm making or spending, and actually living based on principles of actually, I'm doing this, I'm building this business because it's bettering the humanity, then I was moving myself regardless. So then I had to learn how to create pressure in other scenarios to still move myself, still build something, right? And not stagnate, right? And then I learned how to look at all my finances, pull up all my bank statements, the credit cards, the checking accounts, the saving accounts, all that stuff. And I wrote all the numbers. I wrote how much I was spending every month. I wrote all my subscriptions, all the recurring payments, and then around average how much in miscellaneous payments each month, right? Expenses. And I was like, okay, if I'm spending this much, or if I'm making this much, then how can I reduce to these expenses to below that, and then live below my means? Because now I move myself and I continue to build, continue to make money, create money, regardless of that pressure in that sense. And throughout the time, I learned how to sell stuff around my house. Many of you have things around your house that you're holding on to that you may not even use, and you're not willing to let go of things like that temporarily to bring more money, right? Here's a principle in the universe, is when you give up something that you really love and that you worked hard for temporarily, like money, it will not only come back 100-fold, but you will make double that as well. And this is like, I've tested this over and over. Several people have tested it. Doesn't matter what economic status you're in. And matter of fact, the people who struggle with, let's say, finances and whatnot, the ones who are making the least amount of money, should be the ones who sacrifice that money to learn something, to then expand and increase their income, so that you could go into that next level of income bracket, right? Now, all of this, if it sounds too hard for you or any of that, you could obviously always reach out and I could support you. But I've seen it so many times where so many people are spending money on things that they don't even know, right? Like, they put it on auto pay and they don't realize like how many, several people could save $200-$300 on just random things they're spending money on, or subscriptions or anything like that, without even knowing. And look up the stats, right? That this is what the financial advisors will charge you money to teach you, but I'm giving you all that here for free. It's like many people spend around $100 something on restaurants and stuff, right? $50 to $100. Most people spend $100 to $200 in subscription fees. Many people are spending extra money in terms of insurance and things like that, where you could find a better rate and actually lower that. And many people do not consider this. Many people are looking to make more money instead of looking at where they could be more resourceful and more efficient with the current money they have. Because if, let's say, you save $100 here, you actually made that, but then don't go into the mindset of, oh, I gotta save everything I make, because then that, again, you're going into that fear. So there's like a balance of that. And then also the point of going into debt, many people go into debt for things that doesn't return value to them, doesn't bring money back, right? They spend it on shoes, clothes, whatever the case might be, right? Going to restaurants and all that. Not saying those things are not good, but when I first started, I was spending every dime I had to go into debt, to go into events, to go get mentorship, to buy tools and the right support to learn how to make more money. And those kind of debt actually allowed me to increase my income, to then be able to then spend more, to then learn more and make more. And it's like that same pattern, right? So hopefully that stuff is making sense. But these are just some of the principles I had to learn of eliminating financial pressure. It's as simple as lowering the current expenses you have, like really like places you don't need to be spending money. Like if you have for subscription stuff, like you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney, whatever, like you have several of those, it's like cancel 3 of them, have one. And plus, if you're in financial pressure, you shouldn't be watching those things anyway. You should be learning how to make more money and actually build a business or do something, right? And again, if you need support with all of that, reach out to me, right? On Facebook, Instagram, any of those, feel free. I've supported so many people with this that it's like an automatic, like step by step. I'm like, here, just do these. But many people don't do those steps because it's too hard, or they don't want to sacrifice money to go to that next level. And it's like, if it's hard to sacrifice money, that means you should do it, right? Meaning that's like the right thing for you to do. That's like, imagine someone who wants to lose weight. They go to the trainer, and the trainer's like, here, you have to spend this much money and this much time, and then you'll get in the right shape. And you're like, no, it's too much. How about I'll do it when I am in shape and I have the money. And it's like, but the whole point is for you to invest those things so you could get that. But many people think the opposite. They're like, no, I'll get fit and then I'll invest. It's like, then what's the point of investing at that point? You already know how to do it. But many people do not know how to do it. And just because you watch YouTube videos that quote unquote tell you how to do it doesn't mean you're still gonna do it. Many people watch so many videos and courses and they know all the right information on what to do, but they're still broke. Because there's one really critical thing that I had to learn, that I spent thousands and thousands of dollars to learn that one thing, get access to that one tool that changed everything for me. And after that, I mean, you could watch my videos how I made $8,000 in a day, $10,000 in a day, by age 21, 22, and so forth. And everything changed once I figured out one thing. And I'm only gonna share that with the people who reach out to me, because you have to have a certain level of teachability of not just wanting to learn, but actually wanting to change and wanting to take action. And that one tip will only work for people who take action anyway. So I'm not gonna share that. You could feel free to reach out to me and ask what it is, and we could hop on calls and I could see if you're the right type of person to even share that information with, because it costs me a lot. So if you expect to just get something for free, not saying I'm gonna charge you, but it's like you have to change that mindset. But you see, when I shifted that mindset of being okay with investing in myself, investing money and all that, I ended up getting many things that were free, but I was applying them anyway as if I paid thousands of dollars for it, right? So if that this video resonates with you, reach out to me, because I know this is a point many people are going through, struggle with. So reach out so we could actually discuss, actually chat, and help you go to that next level. And if that's not you, then cool. Continue watching YouTube videos and never do anything with them. And that's fine if that's what you choose to do. I did that for many, many years, but at some point I made the decision of, okay, just watching videos isn't increasing my bank account. Let me do the thing most people don't want to do that takes a lot of courage, which is just take action. Okay. All right. I'll see you in the next one.